AEW was never supposed to fire CM Punk. Rumored plans for WWE Smackdown this week. Former WWE star getting thrown in prison. Very disheartening accusation made against Hulk Hogan. Drew McIntyre gets a nervous breakdown. Drew Gulak's name banned in WWE thanks to Ronda Rousey's allegations. A popular WWE superstar has reportedly taken on Backstage role. WWE Champion takes a shot at The Undertaker after his surprise return at WrestleMania XL. And you don't want to miss on the latest on Vince McMahon while away from WWE. Let's dive right in, starting with rumored plans for WWE Smackdown this week. AJ Styles and LA Knight will face off on Friday night in a singles bout to determine Cody Rhodes' opponent at WWE Backlash next month. The Bloodline made a significant adjustment to the blue brand last Friday night. After Jimmy Uso's loss to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, Solo Sikoa booted him out and Tama Tonga joined as the newest member. This week's show is expected to be even more eventful. Here are 5 alleged Smackdown plans. Number 1, Bayley is rumored to lose her title. The role model won her first singles bout at a show of shows and became the new WWE Women's Champion. Naomi overcame Tiffany Stratton last week to become the top challenger for the title. The veteran returned to the company during the Women's Royal Rumble match after leaving alongside Sasha Banks in 2022. She has the potential to dethrone Bayley as champion this Friday night with a stunning shock. Number 2, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair issue a major challenge. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi beat Damage Control's Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane in a 6-woman tag team match at WrestleMania. Cargill and the EST may decide to face the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championship after their victory last week. The two defeated former champions Piper Niven and Chelsea Green last Friday night and may desire to continue their success as a tag team. Number 3, Jimmy Uso gets revenge on the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa claimed that losers have repercussions, while Tama Tonga attacked Uso from behind. Jimmy Uso may show up on this week's SmackDown and try to attack his former stablemates. The veteran may also point out that Solo Sikoa has not won a match since defeating John Cena at Crown Jewel 2023 and is unable to determine who belongs in the Bloodline. Number 4, Cody Rhodes gets attacked. The WWE Universe adores Cody Rhodes, and the champion is likely to address the audience on SmackDown on Friday night. After defeating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, the American Nightmare is officially recognized as a SmackDown star on the promotion's official website. A mystery star could assault the champion during his promo on Friday night, setting up Rhodes' next rivalry after Backlash. It may be someone from the Bloodline seeking to avenge Roman Reigns' defeat or anyone else looking for a shot at the crown. Number 5, AJ Styles avenges his WrestleMania loss. To get a title opportunity against Cody Rhodes, a megastar must first defeat AJ Styles again. AJ Styles has accomplished a lot in his career and understands how to recover from a tough setback. The Phenomenal One may have learned from his mistakes at the year's biggest show and will have a different strategy going into the encounter on WWE Smackdown. Styles is one of the most well-known heels in the organization, and he would be an excellent pick for Rhodes' first opponent as undisputed WWE Champion at Backlash. Former WWE star getting thrown in prison. Kimberly worked with WWE NXT and the Mae Young Classic as Abby Lath from 2016 until her release in March 2018. She joined TNA until announcing her retirement on May 6, 2023. 5 days later, Lee was detained. She was accused of DUI, of resisting an officer with violence, and battery on a law enforcement officer. Lee was seen driving on the wrong side of the roadway, prompting police to respond. According to the incident report, Officer Pia Roberts initially suspected Lee of being under the influence. The grappler accused Officer Pia Roberts of harassing her. As the officer attempted to collect Lee's identification, she stated that she wanted to leave and pick up her washing from a nearby laundromat. Lee then attacked the officer who attempted to arrest her, punching him in the chest, kicking him in the face, shattering his lip and gums, and biting his arm hard enough to draw blood twice. It took 2 cops to detain the former CHIKRA Grand Champion, who had a blood alcohol content of 140, nearly double Florida's legal limit. Officer Roberts had to go to the hospital due to his injuries. Lee's newest court date was set for this morning. The Seattle-born grappler's pre-trial hearing was previously slated for November 2023. She has pleaded not guilty, waived her right to a speedy trial, and is being represented by a public defender since she cannot afford to hire an attorney. According to PW Insider, the pre-trial hearing set for this week has been pushed out for unclear reasons. The 33-year-old former grappler, who previously competed in AEW, is now slated to appear in court on Wednesday, May 22. Lee is going before Judge Angela Cabin of Highlands County, Florida. If convicted of her first-time misdemeanor DUI conviction, Lee faces up to 6 months in jail, revocation of her driver's license, 50 hours of community service, and up to $1,000 in fines. If Lee is convicted of resisting an officer with violence, a third-degree felony, he faces up to 5 years in jail, 5 years on probation, and a $5,000 fine. Battery on a law enforcement officer is another third-degree felony, and if convicted, Lee could face up to 5 years in jail and a $5,000 fine. Very disheartening accusation made against Hulk Hogan. Linda, Hulk Hogan's ex-wife, did not mince words when she targeted him in a recent social media post. Hogan and Linda have been separated for a long time. Linda filed for divorce in late 2007 and later disclosed that she did so after discovering Hogan's adultery. Linda made a serious claim against Hulk Hogan in a recent Facebook post while discussing his connection with his daughter Brooke. She shared the following: "That was a one-way street for Brooke. Unfortunately, his actions turned her against the whole family. #living that narcissist life." Next up, Drew McIntyre gets a nervous breakdown. In a recent episode of Jim Cornette's Drive-Thru podcast, the veteran discussed how, the night following WrestleMania, CM Punk once again cost Drew a chance at the World Heavyweight Championship by interfering in the fatal four-way match. The former WWE manager admitted to liking the feud already. Cornette anticipated that the straight-edge superstar would be ready for in-ring action soon so that WWE could continue their epic feud. He believed that Punk's actions will cause Drew a lot of pain in the coming months. "This is great. I hope that Punk can get back soon. I don't want them to lose momentum on this, but it's great." He's got to give Drew McIntyre a nervous breakdown. Vince McMahon's reported life after WWE. Multiple people who talked with NBC News said Vince McMahon appears to have left WWE. He's kept up his usual routines, but two individuals say Vince appears unconcerned about his legal battles. This came amid claims that WWE had removed the co-founder from programming. The insider gave the following example. On a day in late March, Vince McMahon went back to the United States from the Turks and Caicos Islands, but he was not alone on the private plane that day. Vince returned with 7 kittens and 1 puppy, which he brought back to be accepted by his buddies. Vince apparently frequently takes a private driver from his opulent Connecticut home to Manhattan and New York City, where he dines with friends at eateries like El Tonello East, an Italian old-school spot on 46th Street. The former ECW World Champion also gets bi-weekly haircuts from his longtime hairdresser and works out with his personal trainer many times a week. Previously, it was discovered that McMahon has had recent contact with 2 key WWE stars, John Cena and The Rock. He has also reportedly maintained communication with former President Donald Trump. The billionaires appear to communicate often, and while it is unclear what they have discussed, a source close to Vince stated that they do not discuss their legal issues, and Trump does not provide legal advice. A Trump spokeswoman declined to respond. McMahon reportedly has not discussed business with son-in-law Triple H or daughter Stephanie McMahon. They both declined to respond via a spokeswoman. A new update on the federal investigation against the WWE co-founder was released this week, and Vince's personal opinions are insightful. If anything, he's enjoying life, stated a source close to Vince McMahon, who also revealed that he had traveled to Italy. However, 2 other individuals said Vince has been quite guarded and frequently on the phone with attorneys to plot their strategy since Grant's case became public. AEW was never supposed to fire CM Punk. Booker T remarked on the current episode of the Hall of Fame podcast that after watching the All-In film, he does not believe what CM Punk did was a fireable offense. The wrestling great revealed that he had been involved in a few confrontations backstage in the past. Me personally, I don't think that was a fireable offense. I don't know what's been going on behind the scenes with CM Punk and Tony Khan or anything like that for Tony Khan to make a decision like that off of what we saw, because that did not seem like it was anything other than the boys getting into it. I've gotten into it with guys on the roster before many times, and normally after it happens, they will bring us in and say, guys, either we gotta get along or somebody's going to have to get along, one of the two. And we shake hands and get back to work, said Booker. Another wrestling veteran believes Tony Khan made a mistake when he released the All-In film on Dynamite. Bro, CM Punk laid it out. 100% correct. Here are the 3 things Punk said: can't let you get close. And we saw what happened. Jack Perry got close and Punk pushed him away. Punk said, can't let you get close. I didn't punch anybody. I just choked somebody a little bit. That's exactly what happened. So bro, here's the takeaway for me. If you watch that whole interview and Punk was telling the truth about that incident, then you could assume he was telling the truth throughout the entire interview, right? Said Vince Russo. Do you think Tony Khan made the right call by firing CM Punk? Drew Gulak's name banned in WWE thanks to Ronda Rousey's allegations. A few days ago, the baddest woman on the planet leveled a major claim against Gulak, which shook the wrestling industry. Rousey claimed that Drew Gulak once grabbed a string from her sweatpants while they were backstage. Ronda Rousey also stated that those surrounding them did not complain to the act. While Gulak swiftly addressed the charges, WWE started an investigation into the situation, and the 36-year-old was removed from television. According to a recent update from Fightful, firm employees have been instructed not to in any manner show Drew Gulak's name on television. Additional sources indicated that Gulak might never return to WWE. Usually, Triple H and Shawn Michaels make the creative decisions. It is unclear whether they were also responsible for this, although given their position, they may have been involved in the investigation. A popular WWE superstar has reportedly taken on Backstage role. According to a fresh report from Fightful Select, Shawn Spears began working as a producer during the NXT taping on Tuesday. On Tuesday night, Spears shadowed NXT producer Johnny Moss, assisting him in producing both women's matches: Lola Vice's victory over Sol Ruca and Tatum Paxley's defeat of Thea Hale. It remains to be seen whether the Perfect 10 will make a full-time transition to working backstage. WWE Champion takes a shot at The Undertaker after his surprise return at WrestleMania XL. On Twitter/X, Waller mocked The Undertaker's unblemished WrestleMania run. The Phenom went unbeaten for 21 years at the show's shows before Brock Lesnar broke his streak at WrestleMania 30. 1-0 the streak too, wrote Grayson Waller. On the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw, Awesome Truth was awarded the newly established World Tag Team Championship. Meanwhile, Waller and Theory have yet to get their new titles.